Some memories don't feel like the past. They feel alive. You're living your normal life, and suddenly your mind pulls you backward, back into a moment you don't want to remember, a moment that still hurts, a moment that still feels fresh. And when that happens, you don't just remember the event. You remember the feeling, the fear, the embarrassment, the shame, the confusion, the rejection, the heartbreak. And without wanting to, you start reliving it again. Some people hate their memories so much that they avoid silence. They avoid thinking. They keep themselves busy because quiet moments bring back the past. So today we're going to talk about something important. Why you hate your own memories and how you can slowly heal from them. Not by forgetting, but by understanding. Because psychology shows us something powerful. Your memories don't hurt because they exist. They hurt because of what they still mean to you. And once we begin to heal that meaning, the memory slowly loses its power. Let's begin. Not all memories stay with us. You've probably forgotten thousands of moments from your life. But painful memories, they stick. They stay sharp, clear, detailed. Almost too real. And there's a reason for that. Your brain is not designed to make you happy. It is designed to keep you safe. So when something painful happens, especially something emotional, your brain marks it as important. It stores it carefully so that next time you see something similar, your brain can warn you. That's why heartbreak, embarrassment, betrayal, rejection, criticism, and moments of emotional danger get stored so deeply. Your brain is trying to protect you. It tells you, remember this, because I don't want you to feel this way again. So when the memory returns, your mind isn't being cruel. It's trying to help you survive. But sometimes, that survival system becomes too strong. And instead of protecting you, it traps you. You don't just remember the pain. You stay inside it. And that's when memories begin to hurt. There is something important to understand. You don't actually hate the memory itself. You hate the emotion attached to it. Maybe it was the moment someone made you feel small. The moment you were rejected. The moment you realized someone didn't care. The moment you failed. The moment you lost something. The moment your heart broke. The memory stays because the emotion never got processed. It felt too painful at the time. So your brain stored it quietly. And now, when life slows down, that emotion knocks on the door again. It asks to be felt. But instead of feeling it, we push it away. We distract ourselves. We numb it. We hate it. And that's how emotional wounds stay open. Not because they are big, but because we never allow them to heal. When you remember something painful, you think you're remembering the event, but you're actually remembering what you believed about yourself because of that event. For example, if someone rejected you, the memory might say, I wasn't good enough. If someone betrayed you, the memory might say, I can't trust people. If you failed at something important, the memory might say, I'm not capable. And if you were mistreated, the memory might say, maybe this is what I deserve. So the real pain is not the past. The real pain is the story your mind attached to it. And as long as that story exists, the memory will continue to hurt. Many people notice their worst memories show up at night, when they're alone, or when life finally becomes quiet. This is not random. During the day, your mind is busy. It is thinking, planning, scrolling, working, distracting. But when things slow down, Your brain finally gets space to process unfinished emotional business. So the memories rise again. Not because they want to torture you, but because your mind is trying to organize your emotional world. Unprocessed feelings don't like silence, because silence exposes them. Some of the hardest memories to live with come from childhood. Moments when you were blamed, ignored, embarrassed, rejected, compared, controlled, dismissed. Children don't understand emotional pain the way adults do. So instead of thinking, "This person treated me unfairly," a child thinks, "There must be something wrong with me." The memory then becomes, "I am the problem." And that belief follows you into adulthood. So when similar situations happen later in life, the old wound opens again. Not because the event is big, but because it touches the original pain. Painful memories don't live only in the mind. They live in the body. Your chest gets heavy. Your throat feels tight. Your heart rate increases. Your stomach drops. Your body relives the moment even before your mind finishes recalling it. This is why some people panic without knowing. Why? The body remembers before the brain explains. And healing is not just logical. It is emotional, physical, and slow. One of the biggest reasons painful memories return is self-blame. You replay the moment over and over, trying to find what you should have done differently. You tell yourself, "I should have known better. I shouldn't have trusted them. I shouldn't have said that. I should have seen the signs. I should have been stronger." But psychology reminds us, you didn't know then what you know now. You were a different version of yourself. You made choices with the information and awareness you had at that time. Self-blame pretends to be responsibility, but in reality, it is self-punishment, and it freezes the past in place. Memories are meant to teach you. They are not meant to torture you. A painful memory is like a message from the past saying, "There was something here that deeply mattered to you." Maybe safety mattered. Maybe love mattered. Maybe respect mattered. Maybe belonging mattered. The pain simply reveals what your heart needed and what you didn't receive. That's all. It doesn't say you're weak. It doesn't say you're broken. It doesn't say you're unworthy. It just says that moment hurt because your feelings were real. And that is valid. People often say, "Forget it. Let it go. Stop thinking about the past." But the brain doesn't work like that. You can't move on from something that never healed. Moving on is the result of healing. Not the first step. You don't forget the pain. You outgrow it. You learn. You process. You grieve. You accept. And slowly, the memory becomes lighter. Not gone, just softer. Healing doesn't begin when you try to be strong. Healing begins when you finally say, "Yes, that hurt me. Yes, that affected me. Yes, that changed me." You stop minimizing your pain. You stop pretending it didn't matter. You stop gaslighting yourself. You give yourself permission to feel. Sad, angry, confused, hurt, betrayed, lonely, whatever it was. Because all emotions want is to be acknowledged. Once they are felt, they no longer have to shout. One of the most healing truths is this: you were doing the best you could with the emotional tools you had at that time. Maybe you stayed too long. Maybe you trusted too much. Maybe you ignored red flags. Maybe you didn't defend yourself. But back then you didn't know how to. You were learning, searching, hoping, trying, You are human. And humans don't always choose perfectly. They choose emotionally. With fear, with hope, with longing, with innocence, with confusion. Looking back, you may see clearly. But back then you couldn't. And that's okay. Asterisk. One powerful step in healing is realizing the memory cannot hurt you now. It is not happening anymore. You survived it. You lived beyond it. You grew around it. The pain is real, but the danger is over. And your body slowly needs to learn that truth every time the memory returns. Instead of fighting it, you gently remind yourself, this is the past. I am safe now. And little by little, the nervous system relaxes. Another reason memories fade with healing is because you finally recognize you are not the person who went through that moment. You've grown. You've learned. You understand more now. The version of you in that memory was younger, softer, less aware, more vulnerable. You can feel compassion instead of criticism. You don't say, I was stupid. You say, I was hurting. I didn't know better. I was trying, and that is kinder. And healing always grows in kindness. Sometimes when we talk about healing memories, people think it means forgiving others. But forgiveness does not mean what you did was okay. It simply means I don't want this pain to control my life anymore. You are not letting them win. You are choosing freedom. You don't heal because they deserve it. You heal because you do. One of the most powerful ways the brain heals is by creating new experiences that contradict the pain of the past. If your past taught you you're unlovable, new relationships can show you you are not. If your past taught you you'll always be rejected, new connections can prove otherwise. If your past taught you you must stay silent, your present voice can rewrite that story. The past is strong. But new experiences are stronger. Healing doesn't erase the memory. It changes the meaning. Instead of that moment broke me, it becomes that moment shaped me. Instead of that memory proves I'm weak, it becomes that memory shows I survived. Instead of I hate that part of my life, it becomes I now understand why it hurts so much. And that shift is where peace begins. You don't hate your memories because you are weak. You hate them because they hold emotional weight that never had space to heal. You were carrying it quietly, alone, silently. And now you are finally learning to put it down. Not all at once, but slowly, with patience. With care. With compassion. With honesty. And one day, you'll think about the memory and realize something incredible. It's still there, but it no longer controls you. It becomes a chapter, not your whole story. If your memories still hurt you, it doesn't mean you failed to move on. It means your heart remembers deeply. And maybe that is not a weakness. Maybe it simply shows how much you once cared, how much you once felt, and how deeply human you are. Healing is not about erasing the past. It's about returning to yourself with more understanding and more kindness than before. And that journey takes time, but you are already on it. And that matters more than you think.